Hey guys, welcome to another week of WoW Weekly with Myst. Hope everyone's doing good. And this week we have the Arena Skirmish will be all week, and also PvP Brawl Packed House will be on this week, and that is basically it. As far as Mythic Plus, we're going to have Fortified if you're doing a 2 key. If you're doing a 4, you'll also have Volcanic involved in that. And if you're doing a 7, Spiteful. And if you're doing a 10 or higher, you're going to, of course, have Prideful. And that is basically all that's going on this week. Pretty simple week, so if you're trying to catch up on stuff, good week to do that. As for my accomplishments and goals this week, I did pretty good. I got a few mounts. Well, one hasn't technically been looted. It's from an egg, so I'm holding on to the egg. It'll be hatched in a couple of days, but here they are. So finally, as part of the Night Fae, I finally looted one of the many mounts that drops out of the garden. Took a lot of planting, and yeah, so here we are. This is the first one I got. There is like 4 or 5 more, so I'll keep you posted, but might be a while before I get another one from here. And then on Saturday evening, me and my guild group were doing the Torghast runs. We just needed the last 2 for our Torghast 8 achievement, so I did get that. And afterwards, we went and did we went to go to the Theater of Pain mount, and I actually looted it. I was so impressed. And for a little confirmation, because this mount has been kind of a wonky one as far as how you looted it, so I'm just going to say I looted it off the first kill when I got there, which seems to be the average. So there's no need to farm it. You'll see, if you're really looking at the screen right now, you'll see that I have like 50 some attempts. That's because the first day that I decided to try for it, I farmed it for an hour. So you don't need to do that. You just go in. I would say do 1 to 3 kills, because I have heard of people looting it on the second kill of the day. So do like 1 to 3 kills. And if you don't get it, leave and come back the next day and do that same thing. So yeah, that was really cool. And then, of course, the egg. The egg was farmed in stream this past week. So I am going to do a video on that. You'll probably see it this week sometime. So the footage of collecting the egg was done on stream, and then I will add into the video me looting the egg and learning it, and we'll check out its mount special and all that cool stuff. Okay, so that is basically all I've really been up to this week. As far as goals for this coming up week, I'm really close to the Undying Army. Probably like 1 calling away, I would say. So here's my rep. Undying Army is definitely the goal this week. And also, since you're watching it right now, this was some of what I did this week too, since, this past week. Since it was Dark Moon, I didn't level the rogue every day, but I did a couple of days. I brought her out to places, and so she is getting a little closer to 60 now. As of right now, when I'm, editing this video, she is level 58. So just need 2 more levels, and Dark Moon is of course done, so it won't be through that. But I don't only level through Dark Moon. Like, Dark Moon's only 10%. It's not worth waiting around for. So she'll probably be leveled to 60 next week. She's gonna be going to Venthyr to cover the only covenant I'm not part of right now. So getting her to 60 and getting the Undying rep to Exalted is going to be this week's goals. Okay, so on to news. First bit of news, PTR. It has not started yet, but when they originally told us it was going to start in a couple of weeks, that couple of weeks would technically be Tuesday. So we may actually see PTR open up tomorrow. That is not confirmation, but if they are sticking to their time frame and it's going to be in the 2 weeks from when they said that, then that would make it this week. We could see it Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. And little stuff on 9.1. One thing that I recently discovered that I hadn't recalled hearing in the BlizzCon line was that the final tier when you're out in the maw and the jailer, like your icon's like glowing red, like pulsing red pretty much, because it's at the point where no matter what you do, your health is ticking down. You can't heal yourself. It's like ineffective heals and you're just gonna die basically, right? Apparently they're gonna remove that in 9.1 so that people aren't like freaking out so bad, which I'm all for. I understand that the maw should be kind of that challenge, but when you hit that, which is really fast, I've hit that once before, and it was because I had left my souls till like Monday, basically. I had to do all 20 of my souls on the last day before reset, and so I went in, and because I had done quests as well, I had the dailies, so by the time I'd done my dailies that were out there, or I guess we'll call them weeklies, the weekly quests that were out there, and collected the 20 souls, I had everything on my ass. I had every ranking of that negative ability out there. And yeah, the last few souls I had to farm quickly. I died twice getting the last 3 souls, which nothing attacked me. I was just dying from my health ticking down. And yeah, so after experiencing that, and realizing that I can never leave my souls till the last day. I have to do them in 2-day sequences if I want to do the weekly quests. After experiencing that, I'm all for it. Some people, I'm not one of these people, but some people can't play all the time, right? And those people that can't but want to get their souls done, they would have to do that on a regular basis. And man, that shit was annoying. It really was. So I think that's a pretty good improvement, honestly. We know from BlizzCon line that the currency is going to change. They did mention that Venari is going to have a different currency. So it definitely seems like a seasonal thing, almost like, our mythic seasons have a different effects, kind of similar to that. Seems like Venari will have a seasonal currency, so I wouldn't be surprised if we had a different currency after 9.1 ended as well. And of course, let's talk about flying. How we all were told basically that, flying was going to be easier and we'd have it quicker. And while yes, it's definitely easier, I almost would have rather just had it a little tougher to have it quicker. Like, we're still not going to see flying for a while. 9.1, I personally estimate it to come out, I would think maybe July. Some people think even later than that. I don't think it's going to be later, but I wouldn't put it out of the question either. And I've got kind of a reason for that, which we will go in next. And that is that the next piece of news we're going to talk about is the Burning Crusade. Okay, so on the topic of the Burning Crusade for Classic, the beta is open, as you know. Very limited people have access to it right now. They have been doing testing this past week on the Ogrilla and Shatari Skyguard quests and daily quests, which is quite a mission, I will tell you. I spent years after Burning Crusade on retail, like when it originally released. I spent years getting that Ogrilla and Shatari Skyguard rep. That rep is not fun. Not fun, and I can imagine that there's probably a lot of people that are like, fuck no, I'm not grinding that rep again. So it is a long rep for sure. It is longer than Netherwing. Netherwing's like baby mode rep compared to Ogrilla rep. Now, the Burning Crusade is actually one I'm really excited about because I was excited for WoW Classic, but that excitement is like nowhere near the excitement for BC, because BC was honestly the expansion that got me to stay. You know, when it was just WoW vanilla, you know, we were all new to the game at that point, and nothing, well, things were definitely addicting you into the game, or like attracting you to stay into the game, but BC brought a whole new element. That's when flying came in, and a lot of dailies, and, you know, new zones, and there was a lot going on with BC. And so, you know, plus there was the Blood Elf on Horde side and the Draenei on Alliance side. And yeah, so I'm really excited to see them come out with Burning Crusade. And for Classic. Just for those that are like, well, it came out in 2007. I know that we're talking Classic. But yeah, I'm looking really forward to playing it. As many people, you know, from my channel already know, because I've mentioned it multiple times when asked. But BC is my favorite expansion. It's been my favorite expansion since like 2007, and it's been my favorite ever since. Nothing has taken over that favorite over the years, so that just kind of adds to how excited I am to see what they do with it. I have heard that they've been making some changes, so that's kind of wrong, I guess we'll just say. I don't think they should be changing anything with it, but you know, it's not 2007 anymore. I guess maybe they have to change to kind of stay with the times, or I don't know. It's a different player base now than it was 2007. Classic BC will never be the same as, you know, original BC was. Just like WoW Classic can't compare, well, for me anyway, does not compare to what vanilla was. Like, vanilla was better than what Classic WoW is. But that doesn't mean it's bad. I think they've done a great job on Classic WoW. But we can have two good copies. So Classic WoW and vanilla, two great games. And the same can go for BC. You know, Classic BC and the BC we know from 2007 can both be good. I don't think something has to just be crap. I think you can make something good in a different way. So we can have two good BCs, right? And yeah, so I'm pretty excited to see where they go with that. Plus, BC was my first alt. Through all of vanilla, I only played the druid that you usually see in my videos, and BC brought the very first alt, which was a Blood Elf Warlock. And also was the first time I ever went to Horde because I main Alliance and I mained Alliance fully in vanilla. So yeah, BC was my trip to the other side. So on the topic of that, in some small print that most people probably wouldn't even notice, it has been kind of shown that the clone date is going to be May 18th, 2021. This most likely is not like an actual date for it, so don't take this as a release of the clone, but it's been very speculated that this might be the pre-patch date, May 18th. Again, speculation, nothing confirmed. Me personally, I could see that. I could definitely see that being the case, and the reason I could see the pre-patch for BC Classic being May 18th is because I always predicted that they would bring BC Classic out in summer, probably June. So I'm anticipating like a June, July release date for that. And with that all said, my next thing is, do you think that BC Classic and 9.1 Retail are gonna collide together? Because they are both being worked on right now and they're predicted to be, around summer. And yeah, I've got a bad feeling with the timing of all this. So that is why I'm not like throwing August out of the window as far as 9.1. I think it's going to be more July, but August wouldn't actually, like, it wouldn't not make sense. Because if BC Classic gets released, say, June, they would be so stupid to release 9.1 around that time, because Classic is honestly bigger than Retail is right now. It is so busy over there. When I hop over there, there are so many people around the cities and questing, and yeah. So I think 9.1 kind of needs to be later if June is gonna be the date. I'm just predicting June. It could be July, which could push 9.1 more, right? It's I think 9.1 right now is probably pretty reliant on when BC for Classic releases, because I'm not going to say they can't release the two together, but they shouldn't. They really shouldn't, because there really isn't, from what I've seen, enough in 9.1, even with it being a major patch. There's just not enough going on to drag people who play both games, maybe, to not go to BC. Like, BC will be pretty hyped up. I personally think that they can be close releases, but BC in Classic needs a month. A month is generally the hype period of a new launch. And yeah, that would be the way to work it. So what that means is that if they did release BC in Classic around, say, June, then we could still be looking at a July/August release on 9.1. And so those are kind of my predictions, just based off of a little info that we do have. BC is, in beta right now. And 9.1, we don't even have PTR yet. We will more than likely this week. But the fact that we don't, we know that's definitely a little further down the road. And yeah, and especially with a new raid being in there and new zones, there's definitely some stuff they're going to want to test out. Next up in news, we have a new tournament that is going to be going on for the Mythic Dungeons. So it's a Mythic Dungeon International One-Off event is what they're calling it. The actual name is called The Great Push, which I think they could have really come up with a better name than that, personally. But that is what it's called. And this will take place May 28th to May 30th. They're doing things differently with this one. So basically, what it is instead of teams fighting to beat opponents' times and all that, the Great Push is going to be focused on teams pushing keys as high as they possibly can, and the whole point is for them to survive their competitors and, you know, of course, be crowned the champion. And so here's the calendar for it. This is open to anyone. So if you have a team of 5, you know, or a team of 4 friends and you want to enter this, you can. This is very, it looks like they're trying to open their mythic tournament stuff to the general public, more or less. Like, yeah, that does seem to be what their focus is here. So if you think that you're really good at the Mythic Dungeon stuff, then you can try for this. As for the prizes, it'll be 20,000 divided among 6 teams. I'll go more in detail with that one at the end of all this. And it'll be the best of 3 games per round. And the tournament size is going to be 2,048 teams, so there's definitely room for quite a bit of teams. There is no price to enter, so it's completely free, and any region can enter into this. So on the calendar, you can see May 17th is when signups close, so you have until May 17th to sign up your team. If you don't have a team, there is like a free agent thing where you can kind of sign up by yourself as a fill-in. Not totally sure how that's all working. I would think that you would need a team, but they do show that in the options. Proving Grounds will begin on Saturday, May 22nd, and they will run till the 23rd. So it'll be on Saturday and Sunday, May 22nd and 23rd. Okay, so when you sign up for all this, your Blizzard account will be flagged for access for the Great Push Tournament Realms. So basically, what that means is on your login screen, you usually see US, Oceanic, Latin America. You'll see the Tournament tab down there. You click that, and you should see the Great Push Tournament in there. One thing to note is you will have to select the Mythic Dungeon realm for your region, and any templated character made on that realm will automatically be set at level 60, and they will spawn in Ourobos. There'll be some special vendors there who sell gear, consumables, enchants, keystones, and gems. Pretty much everything you need for the Mythic Dungeon International. And there's also an NPC that will teleport you to any dungeon. So as for the keystones, at any time you can just buy the keystone containers. You can buy scrolls to set the dungeon map, the keystone level, and the 3 affixes. You just apply the modifier to the keystone by right-clicking on the scroll in your inventory, and then you click the keystone you want to modify, just like if you were applying an enchant to a piece of gear. And these will be considered practice runs that do not count towards your final Proving Ground score. Once the Proving Ground starts, your character receives a quest with 2 Blizzard account bound Proving Ground keystones, and these keystones will be used to calculate your score and your normal keystones will not be usable during the Proving Ground periods here. Now, as for gear, don't be, going and farming the best gear you possibly can, because that shit doesn't even matter in this. So gear-wise, you can only use the gear provided by the vendors. You can also use any of the pieces of gear already equipped when you create your character. Acquiring gear on the tournament realm from dungeons, raids, or any other sources to gain an advantage could get you thrown out of the tournament. So definitely do not go that method. Now, as for spec stacking, there are some rules with that. So your team composition has to include 5 unique specializations. So you can't be running, say, 2 Convoke Druids in your team. But you could have, say, 1 Convoke Druid and 1 Resto Druid. And that's basically what you need to know for this event. So Proving Grounds will be 22nd and 23rd. And then if you've been accepted as a team in there, then you will be doing the tournament on the 28th, the 29th, and the 30th. And if you choose to do that, good luck. Okay, so a little better of a rundown on the winners, because that's probably what, most people would want to know, right? And so the 20,000 is shared among all winners, of course. So first place will get 8,000. Second place gets 5,000. Third place will get 3,000. Fourth place gets 2,000. Fifth place gets 1,000. And same with sixth place. So that is the amounts for your team if you win. And a little extra info on the actual days of the tournament. We know the days, but we need to know the time, right? So it would start at 10 a.m. Pacific each one of those days. As for the Proving Grounds that I was talking about earlier, that one starts at 9 p.m. Pacific. And as for the time that it ends, it's also 9 p.m. So start and end time on Proving Grounds is 9 p.m. Pacific. Okay, and the last piece of news I got for you guys is an update for the charity event. So the Doctors Without Border event for the WoW pets, we already have bananas available. So if you have not collected him yet, you can get him off of the BattleNet, and he's completely free. And we're working towards Daisy. So Daisy is the $1 million goal. At the time of recording and editing this video, $799, so really close to 800,000. And we still have 2 weeks left to complete this goal. So I'm sure we'll make it. At the very least, I'm pretty sure some rich person probably would just throw whatever's extra right at the last minute just to, help the community have it. If the goal doesn't get reached, just in that off chance, that doesn't mean you don't get Daisy. All that means is that Daisy would be a purchasable pet instead of a free pet. So basically, all it means is that you would get Daisy for free if we hit the 1 million goal mark by the 26th. Link is in the description of this video if you choose to donate. Okay, guys, so that calls it for WoW Weekly with Myst. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you're getting everything you need to get done in Shadowlands. And we will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.